A teenager was shot by a Texas state trooper after a traffic stop that turned into a foot chase.
Yeah, now we're hearing very different stories from both sides. Law enforcement says the teen tried to run and made a motion towards his waist, while his relatives say he was just on his way to the dentist.
Now, this all started with a traffic stop at the intersection of Will Clayton Parkway and Village Towers Drive. ABC 13's Maya Shea has more from Atascocita.
There's a lot of disagreement between law enforcement and the family about what happened right here along Will Clayton Parkway around 11 o'clock this morning. The family tells me it was a mother driving her teenage son to the dentist when they were pulled over for a traffic stop. As state troopers pulled over the white Kia being driven by a 17-year-old's mother, Andrea Jasmine says she got a call from her nephew who was in the passenger seat.
He called me and I'm on the phone with him and he said, "Can you come get me?" So I said, "All right, I'm coming. What's your location?" So I'm on the phone with him. Then I heard one of the police came up to him and was like, "What you doing?"
DPS says the trooper who pulled the car over saw drug-related items inside and then conducted a pat-down on both mom and son. DPS says the trooper felt a gun on the teenager. He began to run, reach for his waist, and then the trooper fired.
I don't want to a point where we're making assumptions, because that's what the investigators are here doing. So we can say that he reached towards his waist, and then a weapon was found where the suspect fell to the ground.
But Jasmine says she doesn't buy the law enforcement version of events.
How do my nephew end up getting over a traffic violation?
They said he had a gun on him.
I don't know nothing but no gun. And if he did have a gun on him, if from what I was told, he was running away from the police or running away from the area.
DPS says it did recover a gun from the scene and that the entire incident was captured on body-worn camera. Jasmine says she wants to see the video too, because her nephew now has to undergo multiple surgeries for gut wounds.
I'm very angry. I'm very angry because I feel to believe that there's a certain way that you're supposed to should be able to handle things. And when people are trying to get away from a certain area, you should in the back, you should in the neck. That's what you do.
At last check, the teen was about to undergo surgery at Texas Children's Hospital, and his mother is still being questioned by authorities.
All right. Peace and blessings, ladies and gentlemen. All praises to the Most High. And there you see the news clip of yet another shooting of a young black man in the back while running away by this time Texas state trooper in Atascocita, Texas. Now that's in Harris County. And this incident happened this past Friday. And you see the news clip of them describing a traffic stop where the young boy and his mother were pulled out. They alleged that they patted him down and they felt the gun on him. He started running. And you will hear in this interview, I'm going to show you the press conference of Lieutenant Cummins. Now, he continued to say that the young man made a furtive movement in which, the trooper feared for his life. At that time, he began to shoot. Now, you hear his aunt talking, sound like she may have a little bit of Creole or, from New Orleans in her. But she said that, she don't know nothing about no gun. And either way, if he had a gun on him, he was running away. And as you heard, he has been shot in the neck and in the abdomen, as you'll hear this lieutenant say. But fortunately, he is still yet alive. But what I want to focus on is the common narrative that this lieutenant says. Now, this time he says that he reached towards his waistband in that news clip. But in the press conference, he said he turned around, faced the deputy, and made a furtive movement. Now, I'm going to tell you what furtive means, but furtive is subjective. And so they're trying to frame this narrative. They said there was a gun found by him where he laid. Once again, that could be planted or it could not be. But yet and still, if he's running away, he poses no threat. And they came with the same Mickey Mouse narrative. He turned around and reached for, his waist and was obviously going to unalive this police officer. But just watch this press conference, and I'm going to point out some things as this lieutenant speaks. And you can tell that he's a good old boy from, just his demeanor. Just watch this.
But I want to go over some details that I can share with you right now. I want to emphasize this preliminary information, that this information is going to be brief. We know at approximately 11 a.m. today, a trooper was conducting routine patrol and then stopped a white Kia Sorento that was westbound on Will Clayton Parkway. During that traffic stop, the trooper identified indicators of criminal activity, and then had the female passenger and then female driver and male passenger get out of the vehicle. The trooper performed
All right, so he said that he made a traffic stop and then noticed indicators of D-Rug activity. See how vague that is? And you're going to hear the reporter ask her, what do you mean by indicators of that? But watch how vague this information is by this Atascocita sheriff.
a pat down on the female while he was performing a pat down on the male passenger. Felt what he believed to be a pistol. Very soon thereafter, the male began fleeing westbound down Will Clayton Parkway. At some point during that flight, they're on foot. The suspect stops, turns, faces with a furtive movement, and then the trooper begins firing at the suspect.
You see what he says. Somewhere during that flight, he turns, faces the trooper with a furtive movement. What is a furtive movement? I had to look at he's going to use that word about 2 or 3 times. Furtive actually means attempting to avoid notice or attention, typically because of guilt or a belief that discovery would lead to trouble. A furtive movement. He's getting away. He's running away, first of all. So who's going to turn around, stop, and try to hide something? That's what he's basically saying. And at that point, the trooper fired. Now watch how he answers these questions from the reporters.
A pistol was recovered at the scene where the suspect fell to the ground. Members of the Texas Highway Patrol began performing first aid on the suspect until EMS arrived. The Texas Rangers are here on scene right now, and they are conducting this investigation, the lead investigative agency here. And the suspect was transported to Kingwood Hospital. We do know that the suspect, last time we heard, was conscious and talking, but I don't have any more information on him. With that, I'll open it up to a few questions.
Now you see how he says suspect about 4 or 5 times. The suspect, the suspect, the suspect. What is he a suspect of? He was in a traffic stop. He was the passenger in a traffic stop. He had committed no crime. That is when you use the term suspect. You see how they're trying to belittle his humanity. Why don't you say the 17-year-old boy that was running away and got shot in the back? Why don't you use those words instead of trying to create the criminalization of this young boy? But here, watch how he answers the question.
Oh, what happened to him?
That's all part of the ongoing investigation right now.
I mean, is she detained? Is she here?
Yes, yeah. At this point, she's a witness.
And when you say there were signs of criminal activity, can you elaborate on that? Do you believe the car was stolen? Did you see items inside?
It was activity. Yeah, indicators of activity. And so
indicators of D-Rug activity. What does that actually mean? That's very vague. Did you see some smoke in the car? Did you smell it? Did you see, some paraphernalia, some rolling papers? Either way, that still is not probable cause to bring people out of the car and search them, in my book.
At this point, because this investigation is really just in its infancy, we don't want to get into any further detail than that.
I mean, were they illegal or were they like Cannabis. I mean, what kind
Yeah,
of degree are we talking about?
Yeah, we're never really not wanting to get into that. That's part of the investigation going on right now.
See, if they would have found anything, they would have said, yeah, they had this, that, and the other. It's not no we don't want to get into that. That's part of the ongoing investigation. You watched, you received all the information because they debrief you before you get on camera. So if they would have found any type of substances, illegalities, they would have said, like they do in the other news clip. And yeah, the suspect had such and such on him and a gun, and he's also being charged with such and such and such, this and that and that. But once again, they can always use that. Oh, we felt you were suspicious. He looked high. Any type of precursor to give them the right to, pull you out of the car, search you, and things of that nature. Very vague.
So we're just not going to go any farther talking about the type of criminal activity that was there, but we can definitely.
We're not going to go any further talking about the criminal activity if it was there. You heard that, right? If it was there.
Say it was drug activity.
And how what's the cars? Okay, so the female driver, that was her car.
We don't know yet. Trying to figure that out.
Does she have a relationship with the?
It appeared that they had a relationship. Yes, I don't
like
know.
A couple or.
It's difficult to tell. Again, we still have people to interview, so the information that you're getting right now is just, very, very basic.
What's the?
Now he's saying he don't know the relationship, but in the first article you heard that he was with his mother. And so once again, he's deliberately being vague because it's all a part of the cover-up, the justifiable shooting, which it will be most likely ruled by the Texas Rangers, as he mentioned that they were on the scene.
Probable cause for him to stop.
It was a traffic stop. And so that's part of this ongoing investigation right now.
So, like, was he speeding? Was he tail light out? I mean, what was the impetus?
That's what we're trying to figure out.
Now, that reporter asked, what was the probable cause? Was he speeding, the tail light out? And he talking about, well, that's what we're trying to figure out. You remember in the first clip, they talking about they was patrolling. Let's say they were profiled. Just say it like that. You don't even have any information why they were stopped. Because you weren't patrolling, you were praying or profiling, as it is called, but really it's called praying.
So we don't think there was an issue with the traffic stop. We do know that he conducted a traffic stop there, and then identified indicators of criminal activity being activity.
So you're saying when he was patting down, he felt the gun, and then the guy took off?
Yes.
Okay. And how far did they? What?
It looks like maybe about 200-300 yards or so that the suspect ran.
Like just down Will Clayton?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The suspect actually ran across Will Clayton Parkway and continued westbound in the eastbound lanes.
So was the car keyed on this way? Or the gun
westbound, going that way.
And then what? How old was the suspect?
I don't have that information right now. I know it's been reported 17, but we're not confirming that just yet.
Where on the suspect's body was? Where was it hit?
He was hit in the abdominal and upper part of the body.
Now you heard the aunt say he was hit in the back and the neck. Now he's being deliberately vague. Oh, he was hit in the abdominal and the upper part of the body. Just say the neck, sir. Just say the neck.
I don't know how many times. I do know that he was shot.
But
is there a standard operating procedure whenever a trooper is going to conduct a pat down? Are they supposed to ask the person they're patting down if they have any weapons on them? Is that part of the procedure, or is there a procedure?
It really depends on the trooper as to what's required. Once the trooper identifies indicators of criminal activity, and that person is detained at that point, and then a pat down before a search of the vehicle is conducted is certainly warranted, and we train people to do that.
Now he said, like the reporter said, don't y'all normally ask people if they have any weapons on them before you pat them down? He told me, well, it depends on the trooper. No, every time that I've been searched by a police officer, they always say, hey, Miss Taylor, you got any weapons on you before I pat you down? No, sir. You know what I mean? So he's talking about, well, not just depends. And once drug activity is confirmed, then, you know, we can pat it down. You know, the I hate to say it, but as Tariq says, I'm white and I say so. Narrative. You know, I'm white and I say so. We do whatever we do is white, right? Because I'm white, I'm the law, and I say it's right. Don't ask me no questions.
I don't know if he asked beforehand if there was any weapons on them, but we do know that he felt a pistol before the suspect began flight.
Now he said he felt the pistol. In the end of news clip, he said he felt what he believed was a pistol. So which one was it?
Yeah, we're not going to get into that information right now. We got the Texas Rangers that are out here conducting a full investigation into that.
Well, was this a standard, like he was driving down the road and noticed something, or are you guys actively patrolling this area for a specific purpose or anything like that?
Yeah. The traffic stop that occurred here appears to be an average traffic stop. There was nothing indicating there was anything different about this traffic stop.
Now she asked him, okay, what was the reason? Why were y'all patrolling this area? Well, was it specific purpose? Are y'all looking for people? And he said, well, no, it's you know, it's nothing special about this traffic stop. Really, once again, these people were probably patrolling, saw some black people in the town, and said, okay, let's stop them.
And what he says, Kiss, or do you have like the year, color, that kind of thing?
It's a white Kia Sorento, newer model Kia Sorento.
So you say when he turned around, he gestured like he was reaching for something towards the officer, or he went?
Yes, yeah. It looks like he's got a furtive movement, and immediately afterwards, the trooper begins firing at the suspect, and then we found the pistol there right with the suspect.
He never.
Now, once again, he keeps saying, well, it looks like he had a furtive movement. What is a furtive movement? That is so ambiguous. That is so subjective that, you know, that's not cause to fire upon somebody. And here this reporter asked another pertinent question.
He never showed it.
That's what we're trying to figure out right now. What we're looking at right now is just a small screen, but the Texas Rangers are going to be looking at that on a much larger screen, right, and determining all of those factors moving forward.
So
He asked him, he said, look, he never pulled it out. He never pulled it. He never reached for it. That's what we're trying to find out. We're looking at a little screen right now. So once again, in those screens, those camera footage can be doctored as well. So that's why they're probably waiting to release it, to make sure that it meshes with the narrative that they're putting out.
So you describe in layman's terms, you said he like put his hand like toward his waist. I mean, sort of, instead of saying a furtive movement, be more.
Yeah, it's.
See, that's what she said. She said it's the same thing I said. Well, look, could you more describe, like, did he put his hand towards his waist? Did he do, instead of saying a furtive movement? Because furtive can be anything. Like, I can do like this. Oh, that's a furtive movement. He's trying to hide his face. And watch how he can't answer the question.
Difficult to tell, but it looks as he is running, the suspect reaches towards his waistband, and then the trooper fires.
See, he's stuttering. Well, it looks like she asked him, did he reach for his waistband? He was like, well, it's hard to tell. While he was running. And be sure to throw that suspect in there, because he was running, and it looks as the suspect reached for his waistband, and that's when but she literally asked you, did he reach for his waistband? And first you say it's hard to tell, then you stumble and bumble in saying he reached for his waistband. This is what I'm talking. You got to really pay attention to these liars and deceivers.
And so I can't get into any more detail than that. I just don't have it. But, when we talk about a furtive movement, it was obvious that the trooper felt that his life is in danger.
So he never managed to point the gun.
We don't know.
So
that's all part of an ongoing.
It sounds like he just got it like sort of halfway out the waistband. That or make his hand.
Honestly, we just, to answer your question, we don't know yet. That's the whole reason why we've got multiple Texas Rangers here conducting this investigation. They can review those videos, do an analysis of them to find that information out.
Was this captured on?
See, once again, she's literally just trying to be very clear. Okay, did he pull it out? Did he get to it? Well, we don't know. We have several people reviewing the film. Like if they know, but they can't lie or get caught in a lie, so they have to be very, very vague. Now she's going to ask about the body cam footage.
Yes.
Was the trooper by himself when all of this happened?
Right. Yeah. Trooper was alone, which is customary for us.
The trooper was alone, so there's no witnesses.
Do you know how long this road may be closed?
Texas Rangers are continuing their investigation now. I know that we've got some partners out here that are helping. We're trying to get this investigation done so we can open the roadway back up and resume normal traffic.
Is are either the male or the female facing any charges at this point?
The male certainly is. And then we're going to determine on the female later on.
Well, what charges would the male face?
Well, he ran from law enforcement at a minimum, which is.
You see what she said? What charges are they going to face? Well, he ran from law enforcement at him because he really didn't do anything wrong. They didn't do anything wrong. If they would have found some indicators of criminal activities, we would know what those indicators was. Now she's asking them literally what kind of charges. Well, running from law enforcement at a minimum. So it's that they tell on themselves if you break down what they're saying.
Misdemeanor, and then don't know about the pistol in terms of what charges that may come along with. But I don't want to get ahead of our investigators right now, but there are multiple charges that could be filed, and that's what the investigators are working on.
Was the weapon loaded?
I don't know yet.
And it doesn't sound like he got pointed.
Again, I don't want to get to a point where we're making assumptions, because that's what the investigators are here doing. So we can say that he reached towards his waist, and then a weapon was found where the suspect fell to the ground.
And he's very telling on himself again. The lady is clearly trying to establish. So at this point, he didn't, he really didn't point it at him. He didn't, I really can't say, but we can say that at this point, we can say he reached for his waist. He's not saying that he did, but at this point, we can say he reached for his waist. That's why the trooper did it. He didn't have to actually do it, but we can say he reached for his waist. You gotta pay attention.
Trooper fired how many shots?
I'm not sure how many.
You know how many?
Yes, fired multiple rings.
This trooper on administrative leave or desk duty or something.
Yeah, the trooper will be placed on administrative leave. That is standard operating procedure for us. And then certainly has an opportunity at that point, visit with psychological services and those types of things, which is all customary for our agency and many other agencies.
There you go again. Okay, the officer, he gets paid administrative leave. He gets to go to mental health counseling, which is all customary with these situations of shooting people while they're running away in the back.
Tell us how many years you live. For other agencies, they definitely tell us how many years the person has been with the agency. DPS do that.
I just don't have that information with me right now. What I'm concerned with right now is giving facts about this investigation as much as I can. And then, that information just really isn't germane to what we're trying to convey here today.
See, then now you get frustrated because the guy was like, look, other agencies tell us how long the officer was on the force, this, that, and the other. He's like, look, man, I'm just telling you, I'm not getting into that. I'm just trying to give information that's germane to the case right there. You can see the frustration in his face. Like, man, look, stop asking me questions.
Suspect, white male, Hispanic male.
A suspect was a black male.
Suspect was a white man, Hispanic male. We know the suspect was a black male.
And the woman, she also a teenager, or that you're similar in age?
It looked to be similar in age. Really difficult to tell.
Looked to be similar in age, but it was his mother. There you go again. Of course, to white people, they say all blacks look alike. So, she looked like a regular teenage girl, but she was transporting her son to the dentist.
What her age was, but younger.
Any outstanding warrants for anyone involved that you know at this time?
Don't know anything about that. So again, this investigation still remains very ongoing as we speak, and we're trying to get that done so we can get the roadway opened up, and then certainly get answers not only for the family here, but answers for our investigators.
And it sounds like the injuries are non-life-threatening.
He was. I don't want to get into making assumptions about life-threatening, non-threatening. I'm not a physician, so I would refer you to the doctor's office. But we do know that he was talking last we heard.
Kingwood Hospital.
Mm-hmm. Kingwood Hospital. All right. Well, hey, I appreciate y'all. Thank you very much.
All right. So there you see the interview, the press conference, about 10 minutes of just vagueness, outright deceit, the narrative where he don't really know. It's hard to say where he didn't actually reach. Well, he did reach. He made a furtive movement. I don't know how many times it was. There was no charges, criminal indicators. I can't really say those things right there, man. That is what really, irritates me when these people just pretty much play in your face. But here we have another young man. Now, as you heard the aunt say, he's going to be facing multiple surgeries as a result of these. And then the officers are going to put criminal charges on him, because what does that do? That justifies the unjustifiable shooting. Anytime someone is running away from the police, they are not a threat, weapon or not. And I don't know who are all these young black men who are running away from police, then all of a sudden just say, forget running, I'm just going to turn around and, make a furtive movement. Nobody does that, man. I don't know how many times we have to hear this lame excuse for them using our young black man for target practice. Granted, you shouldn't run. And this should say, let you know every reason in the world that you shouldn't run from these people. Stand there, taking charge like a man. But when you run, they're going to say you turned around, you made you reach for your waist and blah, blah. But this is getting out of hand. Once again, people say that, it's going to be worse when Trump gets in, but, really, how much worse can it get? Honestly, how much worse can it get? But we have, once again, these law enforcement people, these law enforcement individuals, always covering for their actions. And when the body cam footage is released, hopefully we'll see that. But this is got to come to an end. And as Psalms 82 1-4 said, God presides in the great assembly. He renders judgment amongst the gods. How long will you defend the unjust and show partiality to the wicked? That's what they are doing. Defending the unjust, the officers, and showing partiality to the wicked. Defend the weak and the fatherless. Uphold the cause of the poor and the oppressed. Those people who were stopped in that car are oppressed. Rescue the weak and the needy. Deliver them from the hand of the wicked. Verse 4. The people who are being oppressed and targeted by these police are the needy. And the police in many of these cases are the wicked. And so we must be careful and deal with them wisely, when you come in contact with them, because as we see, it is open season. I actually had a police stop today. Yeah, I ran the light, man. Yeah. I thought I was gonna make the light, man. Here you go. Here's my stuff, man. And go on about my business. I'm not gonna argue with you. You got me. Go ahead and do your job. You ain't solving no crimes, but you gotta stop me for running a light. Now, granted, I ran the light. Thought I could make it. I did. But go do something else with your time, officer. Hope you're watching this as well. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. Y'all see the number 919-587-7782. Once again, young man, don't run for these people. Don't run for these people. They got a license. That Steven Seagal movie, they got a license to ill with a K on the front. And so y'all be careful out there, man. Peace and blessings. 919-587-7782.
From local stories to Wayne County news, get ready to dive into everything happening in North Carolina with Taylor House Publishing. Got a story to share? Shoot us an email at taylorpublishinghouse@gmail.com. If you're looking to publish your book or need some top-notch mentorship, we've got your back. Join the excitement with the one and only Richard Taylor, right here at Taylor House Publishing. Speak with Richard directly at 919-587-7782. Don't forget to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and invite your family and friends to watch.
From Wayne County to the Carolina coast, Taylor House brings the news you love most. Tune in on YouTube, don't miss a beat. Local stories that keep you on your feet. Taylor House, we got the school. Taylor House Publishing.